Hi, I'm Randy Altman with Post Perspective. We're here at Siggraph 2019, and my guest at the moment is Andy Brown from Jogger Studios. Andy, what is Jogger Studios? What do you guys do?
So we are the finishing arm of Cut and Run Editorial, and we have offices in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Austin, New York, and London. So we're a kind of a big little company.
Absolutely. So, but you guys don't just service Cut and Run. You're open for business.
We're open for business for whoever wants to bring work to us. So we have a wide range of different clients and different projects across all the different offices. We are based mainly around flame and After Effects for our finishing, with a little bit of 3D thrown in when required.
Okay. And what do you use when you do 3D?
Usually we have two packages. Cinema 4D would be the main one that we use, which is affordable and it's also really powerful. So it's a good piece of software for us to use.
So in terms of projects, is it spots mostly, or?
It varies. I mean, the bulk of the work, certainly in the Los Angeles office, is finishing for TV commercials. But we do a wide variety of different things in the different offices. In our London office, last year we finished all of the graphics for the U2 Joshua Tree anniversary tour. So these are the back projections that went on, huge, like 60 meters wide. So that was quite heavy and really exciting to go and see. And that's the interesting part about the work that we do, that there's so many more markets now than there used to be. It always used to be TV commercials. That was where you did the work. But everyone has a screen in their pocket now, and there are so many screens on the sides of buildings and in shows and experiences and the rest of it, and everybody needs content, everybody's creating content, and that's all got to be put into a format that can work, and all the color correction and editorial needs to be done to make that work. So it's a great opportunity for many companies out there, I think.
But what about all the deliverables that you guys need to prepare? I mean, that must be challenging.
Well, we did a project for Google end of last year, and we ended up with, and it was basically not a huge amount of base spots, maybe 15 or 20 base spots, but we did over 400 deliverables for that. So in different formats and different sizes and different specifications for Facebook and for Instagram and for YouTube and for TV commercials, and so you're getting a 16:9, a 9:16, a 1x1, a 4x5 of everything. So there's a lot of deliverables, definitely.
So do you just have like a deliverable guy or gal that's their job? Because that seems like that's pretty intense.
We do. We tend to like everything that gets. I'm a bit traditional with this, and I like just like a big list and a piece of paper, and you can go through and tick them off, and you've done it. It just seems to be a good way to do it. So there will be a base specification of everything that needs to be done, which will be delivered directly from the flame by me, and then my assistant George will then do all the different versions that need to be made up, all the different specs that need to go out to be delivered. So yeah, it's a big job, but it just depends on being really organized, and whatever way that you find to organize it doesn't really matter, just as long as it works. So, and there are plenty of people out here today trying to sell you different ways of being organized, and there are tons of ways of being organized, but the key to it all is just being organized.
Right. Yeah.
So however you do it.
So we're here at Siggraph, as you said. So what have you seen? You've been walking around for about a day or so.
Yeah.
What has impressed you? What should people know about?
The big takeaway from me is how much of just to follow on from what we're talking about, is the variety of different solutions that people are coming up with that fit different platforms. So one of the big features here is facial tracking, bodily tracking, which we have just right opposite from us. We are currently being tracked on a booth. So, but there are a lot of different versions of that work for different markets, that work for different executions. So from the big, fully domed 360-degree camera with a suit that will track everything absolutely perfectly, that will give you something that you can turn into a Hollywood movie VFX style creation, a digital human or a digital animated dinosaur or whatever it might be, to something that's purely made to work on your phone in a kind of an Instagram style tracked face, or I had a new head put on me a couple of times yesterday, a new body put on me a couple of times yesterday, and I thought that was very interesting that there's not one solution. So in the same way that the work we do has to go to a lot of different markets, there are a lot of different suppliers feeding into people like me who have to do that work. So it's like, if you want to do facial tracking, but it only needs to be good enough to put an avatar onto someone's head that works on their phone, you don't need a 360 camera. You can do it from your iPhone 10, or you can do it from a GoPro, or you can do it from something else. But if you want something more high-end, then there are stages to it. So a lot of the offerings that you have here, not just for tracking, there are many different levels of offerings. So the free version of a software will give a lot of people what they might actually need. Resolve does exactly that. You have a free version of the software. Great. It might not be enough for a full-on high-end finishing, but then you can subscribe, you can buy the license, you can do whatever you need, but it builds up that base of users from their point of view. So you've got people learning to use the software who will probably go further and further into that career, and then they're prepared to buy then. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting.
Anything else that sort of, before I let you go and find more things to look at, anything else that has caught your interest?
I think that the big thing, which is not currently hung around our necks because we took them off, but the NVIDIA lanyard that we have here, and NVIDIA is everywhere.
The
so
RTX stuff
yeah,
that they're
exactly.
on,
So the graphics card is central to so many different offerings that I've seen, so many different forms of the software, everybody talking about real-time ray tracing, real-time animation, real-time everything, and that's all based around the power of those graphics cards. And it's not just NVIDIA doing that, there's AMD doing that, there's a couple of different manufacturers there going with their different offerings. And although you're not seeing a huge amount of hardware here necessarily, there's not lots of stalls selling, well, actually a few stalls selling bespoke computers, but they're kind of all based around the graphics card, and that is really what everybody's interested in seeing and interesting what it can achieve. And Flame works using those graphics as well, so I'm definitely an advocate of that way of working, because it does make everything faster. It really does. And the faster you can get things done, the more jobs you can do, and the more money you can make, is the theory, which is ultimately what we're all kind of trying to do. So.
Absolutely. Andy, thank you very much for coming
You're
by.
welcome.
I really
No problem
appreciate
at all.
it.
Really
And
appreciate it. Thank you very much.